Before we start this episode, huge shout out to Zeke Rocks and his whole YouTube channel. He had me as a guest on the Ahihi podcast, so don't forget to check that out. Link is in the description. Without further ado, here's another episode of Fairy Fountain.
Hey guys, welcome back to Fairy Fountain. Fuck. Obviously,
right.
you can very clearly tell that I have not done this in a while.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Fairy Fountain podcast. I'm your host, as usual. Tightly in here on ID. I'm kidding. I had to get that out though. I wanted to see how you'd react. Okay.
Wait, well, I didn't get the reference. Is there a joke?
No,
in there
I was
somewhere?
I was being quirky.
Oh. Yeah, please,
Wanted to
by
see
all
how
means, be
I wanted to-
quirky.
Oh God, no! I don't want to embarrass myself more than I already do.
Oh. Well, since we're not really even doing an intro this time, I got Grey Joy-Con finally.
Are we really not doing this?
Oh, I mean, you can, but we're already this far into
Well,
it.
you know what? Okay, whatever.
Just
This
say
is
the
being left
things.
in.
Hi, I'm here too. My name is Slime, if you didn't know.
Yeah, he's kind of the guy I run this with. Whatever. Anyways,
Yeah, I'm not important.
Who are you again? You're not the one that edits these, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm the only one that edits them.
On this month's episode, we're going to be talking about the Xenoblade 3 rumors, the Pokemon Presents that showed off more of Pokemon Legends Arceus and the Gen 4 remakes, as well as the indie world that happened last month. So where should we start? Do you want to
First, I want to say, how are you? Because it's been a month since you've been on the show.
I am doing better. I'm very exhausted from work, but so it goes.
Yeah.
Been actually having a lot of time to play Nintendo games lately, so all
That's
good there.
And then also, before we truly get into the news, last month, you weren't here, obviously, like I just said, so there's a couple of things I want to talk about regarding that before we get into the whole list that we have. So, what's your opinion on the whole, like, Activision situation, if you have any thoughts on it at all?
Fuck the system. I don't understand why anyone in any industry would think anything like that is okay to do.
And it's
The
more
actions-
than just the work environment. Just everything that they're doing is weird and fucked up.
This
Fuck?
shouldn't be a thing that should happen anywhere, especially in the workplace, especially with your coworkers. If you wake up in the morning and think, hey, I'm going to go into work and I'm going to get drunk and crawl around people's cubicles, get the fuck out of your business.
Yeah.
You should not be employed there.
Yeah.
So basically, fuck the people that were allowed to do that and fuck the management for allowing it to happen. I'm personally not supporting anything Activision does in the meantime, so
They
I'm
just
a heavy
announced a new
crash.
Call of Duty, so
I don't
Nope.
play Call of Duty.
get it.
And
I'm
I'm
not
saying
even
this
gonna
right now.
attempt. Like, Cold War was awful, so I'm like, I'm Call of Dutied out for a
I
while. I'll stick
haven't
with
played Call
Black
of
Ops
Duty
3.
since Black Ops. Yeah, Black Ops 3 is the last one I played.
And it's a good
But no,
game
even if-
too. This is like when Activision was doing something with their lives.
As much as I want Crash and Smash Bros., I've backed off. I'm
Yeah.
really hoping he's not in it just because
Sora.
I don't want... Sora's not happening.
But-
you know damn well
Yeah.
it's going to be a Gen 8 Pokemon.
Yeah.
You know it.
And the other thing too is that Activision has so much going for them, regardless of the weird Call of Duty stuff. But then they're just like, well, we have all these developers. Let's put them on Call of Duty. Yeah.
It makes the money and they're unwilling to experiment anymore. It's
Like if
sad, but-
Nintendo said, all right, so let's put Game Freak, Nintendo, or the Mario Odyssey team, and the Mercury Steam, and put them on Pokemon.
No. Put him on Dragalia Lost on mobile. Get those
Oh
crossovers.
God, it's like, oh no, put them on Splatoon 3. If Splatoon 3 has like a battle royale mode that they're gonna be updating for the next 20 years, let's put them on that.
Honestly, I know you're probably joking, but I'm really kind of hoping that Splatoon
Yeah, I
goes in that
do.
direction
Please.
just to see what they
Well,
will do.
I don't really care so much for the monetization part, but
Oh, they wouldn't do that.
definitely
They'll just
for
run
the
that.
battle royale mode for sure. There's a
Yeah.
little spoiler here. There's a video that might be coming out in the near future that I've been working on for a while that has to do with Splatoon 3. I've never played a Splatoon game, so it would be fun.
How have you never played a Splatoon game?
It's just one of those games
Boy,
that, well, on the Wii U it passed me by, but on the Switch I was just like, I have to get it. Never did.
oh, that's fair.
I,
I know
I've, I've, I've
Splatoon.
always wanted to. I watched Sugar Conroy's playthrough of the first game. I'm invested, but I'm just not there yet.
Splatoon for me, from the time it came out on Wii U to
Sweet.
basically when Smash Bros. Came out on Switch, I basically played it at least a little bit every
Yeah.
day. I love that game so much. The series is amazing. I cannot wait for three.
There's a lot of things that I don't like about it, and then I'll talk about it in my top 10, but it
Okay.
it like those map rotations, those are really weird. There is
Yeah.
so much that goes into like all the weapon classes and costumes and things. Like Call of Duty, like there's a lot of stuff that, I mean, sorry for the comparison to Call of Duty. Even like
Oh, you're fine.
Fortnite is entirely cosmetic. In Call
Right.
of Duty, there's a little bit of levels here. I think there's like the prestige stuff, but most of it is cosmetic. Excuse
Yeah.
me. But with Splatoon, there's a whole meta game right there, just talking
Yeah.
about just sets that you can go into. It's like custom moves in Smash Four. There's so much to it.
Right.
Well, there's way more into it than, but you get what I'm saying.
I do. Yeah.
Anyway, and then the second thing was Skyward Sword. How was that?
I going. I've made this very clear throughout the year that I was not super excited about Skyward Sword being the Zelda game we are getting on Switch this
Yeah,
year. I've. It was my first Zelda game I picked up at launch, out past Ocarina of Time 3D. I enjoyed it. Honestly, I'm really happy to say that when it came out on Switch, I fell in, I binged it, and was like done with it in a week and a half. It was so good.
I haven't been able to go back to it just because of time.
Mhm.
However, I've had a lot of funny experiences. Like my friend, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. I went to his house. My coworker actually. I went to his
Right.
house and he's like, I cannot fight this. I'm not even at this point in the game yet. He couldn't even fight the mid boss in the first dungeon. He was like, I can't
Ooh.
do it, and I did it in like my first try. I
Was
hadn't
it
even
because of the
gotten to the
motion
combat
controls,
yet.
or
Yeah, I haven't even gotten to
ooh,
the combat yet in my copy, and for
right?
him, he's like he couldn't do it, and I finally did it for him first try. I was just like, really, it's not that hard, but I think he
No,
was like trying to play it like you would with buttons, where you just kind of just go and keep swinging, where you have to
yeah.
actually think about it methodically, and like, and also the motion controls aren't that great. I'm just gonna say that outright.
I
So
played
you
through the
have to
game with the
center
motion
it.
controls. I wasn't. Yeah, you had to center it a lot,
You
but
have to center it a lot.
I didn't have that much of an issue with it. It's probably because I played it on the Wii. I'm used to the motion controls, but I actually couldn't get used to the buttons. So I
Hmm.
basically 95% of my playthrough was on TV mode with my motion controls.
Yeah. All
But it
right.
was
So
a fun distraction.
is that it for Zelda, you think?
You like asking me this question, and you know exactly where I'm going to go with this.
But you,
If I don't,
logically speaking, I don't think so.
okay, for the anniversary, no.
No, not
I
the
do
anniversary. I
think.
mean just like releases in general.
Oh God, no, we get Zelda every year. Come on.
No, I mean
I
this year. I mean not.
Well, yeah. Well, we
Okay.
got the Game and Watch coming out, but yes, in terms of this year, absolutely, Skyward Sword's it. We could. I say this every time I get the chance to. If there's a Nintendo Direct, either now in the next couple months or early next year, Wind Waker Twilight Princess could come out in like that February March slot. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. But I've kind of stopped hoping for that.
Yeah.
It's a matter of time until they come. I'm not really pushing it every single direct that comes.
All right. You can go ahead and take the lead then.
Okay. So I think the first thing that we should talk about is that Indie World.
I totally forgot what was in it. To be honest with you.
I'm gonna pull it up right now. There was like a bunch of good stuff. Honestly, I almost forgot this Indie World even happened. To be honest with
Yeah.
you.
Me too. It was on the 11th.
So
Cyber
the
Cyberpunk 2077.
I was literally just gonna talk about that. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk was the opener for the
Yeah.
Indie World. It
So
looks really
it's
cool.
uh Jet Set Radio clone, looks like.
Basically, it seems like it's going to be like a spiritual successor.
You got Axiom
And
Verge.
Axiom Verge 2 was shadow dropped. I think that surprised a lot of people. That was a really cool reveal.
I feel like we've known about that. I don't know why.
No, they said it was coming out in, I think, Q3 or Q4. It got delayed a few months back, but
But we knew it
there
was
was like
coming, right?
there was yes, we knew it was coming, and we knew there was a rumor that something was altered in the eShop files, and clearly this is why.
Oh, okay.
I've heard decent things. I haven't had the chance to dive into the series, but it looks fun.
Nothing else really looks like it stands out to me. Like,
Eastward is from, I believe, Chucklefish. I think they made Stardew Valley, to my knowledge. I might
oh,
be wrong on that one.
Tone looks
Shovel Knight Pocket.
interesting, but
Yeah.
it's a nice art style at the very least. Shovel
Shovel
Knight Pocket
Knight's pretty
Edition.
cool.
I like we learned about this through the Yacht Club Direct a few years or last year or earlier
Right.
this year, and it's
Whenever
like
it
it's
was,
a
I remember
puzzle
that though.
game. So I'm just like, we don't really need to know more information about it. It's cool that it's happening. I'm a fan of Shovel Knight, so but I'm just like, we don't need a second highlight, you know.
Right. Metal
Metal
Slug.
Slug's back. That's interesting. I've never played it, but
I haven't either. I've heard decent things. Tetris Effect is coming out
that
on
is
October
interesting.
8th.
I hope it's good because that game is, even though it's like basic Tetris, it's one of those
Mhm.
games that you have to feel, if that makes sense. You have to
I think it's going to be
4K
great. Just
OLED, like
given it's coming out, I'm a little worried about its success though because it's coming out 3 days after Monkey Ball, same day as Metroid, same day as the Switch
mm,
OLED. There's a lot going on that during that week. It's insane.
hmm,
I want to play it, but I don't think I'm going to have the time or the money, frankly,
yeah,
because I am one of the few people that's picking up the OLED on launch. So
same. Or if I can, hopefully. Loop
thankfully,
Hero looks
I
interesting
started
too.
pre-order. Uh, I don't remember that one.
It was,
Let me-
I guess it. Let me look at it. It was
Oh yeah, this one.
yeah, it was like where you have to. It's like BTD almost.
Not my type of game, but I'm sure it's gonna be cool.
The other one that I thought would be cool is uh Slime Rancher and Gang Beast. I already thought Gang Beast was on the Switch. I
So did
guess
I.
not. But it's a fun game. Dumb fun little
Boyfriend
party game.
Dungeon came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but nothing else
Uh,
too interesting.
I mean, watching the direct, it was pretty fun. Like there was a good pace, bunch of fun announcements. But looking back on it, eh, we've had
Yeah.
stronger, but it definitely wasn't disappointing or anything. But
Where's my Deltarune? Oh wait, that hasn't happened yet.
mm,
Speaking in the future.
I think it'll come out quite soon.
I don't
uh,
Switch release. I don't know when that's probably next year.
it, yeah, probably, but
So far, it's never mind. I'm not even gonna talk. We'll talk about that next month. But
doesn't
goddamn,
exist. I don't know. I don't know how you've seen it.
Deltarune Chapter One. You never played that?
I haven't even finished Undertale.
I haven't
Of course, I
either.
haven't played it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm like scared to play because like I know I want to do all the routes, but
hmm.
I know that genocide is hard as balls. So
I played like the first hour. It was fun, but it just didn't hook me. And I'm at the point where I just don't have time to invest in games that don't hook
yeah,
me right away.
I excuse me, but I prefer to watch it. Like I watched Jacksepticeye's original series and watching
Mhm.
his Deltarune stuff now. So or dead.
Nice. Yeah, I gotcha. Um, we got a little bit more details about the Illumination Mario movie with is it our first official casting? Well,
I
official.
don't know. Yeah,
I've never heard of this actor personally,
me neither.
Sebastian Maniscalo. I hope I said that correctly.
I
Apparently, he's
haven't
going to be
either, to be
playing.
honest with you.
Apparently, he's playing the character Spike, and from what I've heard, it's is it from Wrecking Crew?
Yeah, so Spike was also in the original Mario movie too, apparently.
Gotcha. I've never seen
Um,
it.
Again, we know it's an animation, so we know it's gonna at least be a lot better than the original. But
Assuming Illumination
with
doesn't screw it up.
yeah, which I highly doubt they will. Minions is already a worldwide phenomenon. I highly doubt. Like every single movie has been a banger, pretty much. Um,
Illumination also has Miyamoto on their side, so I really think
yeah.
that they have a
But the
good team
only
with them.
thing that turns me off is Spike in particular. Because I was like, at first I was like, oh, Spike, Fishy Boopkins, the guy that throws up balls.
Right,
But then I was
right.
like, oh, wait. But then when I realized it could either be the Wrecking Crew guy, at first I was like, oh, cool, Wrecking Crew guy. But then when I realized that it was from the Mario movie also, I was just like, where are they going with this? Is this going to be a
I'm
Mario
sure
Bros.
it's
origin story again?
I'm sure it's just a funny little callback. But I really don't know where they're going to go with this movie, and I'm excited to finally see a trailer whenever that does happen.
Yeah.
But ever since it was announced, I really haven't paid much attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now get me a Zelda movie, and I'll be looking
I
at it
w-
every goddamn day.
that Netflix was it a trailer or like a proof of concept
I think it was a proof of
from
concept.
the people who did TMNT 2007.
Yep, I saw that.
That
It
was
looks
amazing. That was
yeah.
amazing. I love the not many people do, but I personally my favorite TMNT movie is the 2007 one, and obviously my
Mm,
favorite series is the 2012 one. But that movie was great. It looked beautiful. They have a lot of potential, and then now their studio's gone because Nintendo decided to drop the ball on their fucking Zelda idea. And then
Zelda idea. There
Netflix,
was
I don't know what Netflix was had to do with that, but Netflix ruins
if
everything.
lately it's been with especially Nintendo and Netflix the fact that if any of their like projects that are apparently happening leak, they get canned.
Yeah.
So I think there was rumors
Just put
going
everything
around
on
that
Peacock.
I don't remember what series it was, but it might have been like Star Fox. But Adam Conover from like Adam Ruins Everything basically came out and said that
It was
Netflix
happening.
was working with Nintendo, and then it leaked, and then Nintendo just killed it.
I heard I didn't even hear about that until I watched the No More or Did You Know movies about it.
Mhm.
Um and I was like, "Oh, that's a neat idea." Apparently they were going to do something with that whole animatronic thing. Or wait, no. Maybe I'm crossing my ideas here. That
No,
was Robot Chicken, right?
that was Robot Chicken. Yeah,
But they also had the animatronic thing for the E3 thing too. So
yeah.
that was also Robot Chicken, right? That worked with Nintendo on that.
Uh
I know they did
that
that
one was
one with the
that
Mother
was
3 joke.
Muppets. That was Muppets, I believe.
Oh, that was my okay.
I think so.
I'm getting my wires crossed. Never mind that.
2014 was Robot Chicken. 2015 was Muppets.
Okay. Never mind
But I
then.
mean, there's really not much to say here until we see like a
Yeah.
poster, trailer, like official
I just want to
casting. Because
see this Mario movie. It's been eluding us for who knows how long. Longer than I think it surpassed the Wii U at this point.
I can't wait for the Illumination direct.
Minions
Hey, the
4.
theme park got one.
That was
Pikmin 4
weird
is
though. That was out of
Pikmin
left
4
field. I've never
is
expected them to do a
actually
direct.
a Netflix live action series
God.
starring Danny DeVito. He's playing
As
Olimar.
who?
My uncle works at Nintendo. He's playing Olimar. He's gonna go with little
He actually would fit as
claymation.
Mario. He literally has a Mario
He would.
like thing going on there. He's short, he's stubby, and he has the New York accent. Oh, is he
Anyways,
gonna have a New York accent or fake Italian?
fake Italian. Come on. Anyways, keeping with the movie news, we actually got confirmation that Idris Elba, is
Don't
going
know
to
who that
be
is.
Knuckles in Sonic 2. I know like some movies he's in, but I don't exactly pay much attention to him either.
Hmm.
But this announcement's pretty cool because it obviously confirms that Knuckles is going to
Yeah.
play a critical part in the movie.
But I feel like we've known that for a while. We've been seeing
Well,
screenshots from
yeah.
the set and stuff. I'm glad that they're open about this too. They're not like, oh, it's in development, it leaked, up, we're done.
Well,
Nintendo.
given the movie's coming out, I think in April.
Yeah.
It's a little late for that one.
Yeah. I'm glad that this is progressing smoothly though. I absolutely despise Sonic, and if you follow me on Twitter, I will fight you about Sonic all day. That's my like Twitter. That's my persona on Twitter is the Sonic hater, but the movie was good. I'm
Yeah,
excited for the
it was.
sequel.
I'm not a big Sonic fan either. Like, I enjoyed Mania, I enjoyed Generations, and a few other titles, but Sonic is just a funny meme character to me, not gonna
Yeah.
lie. Like,
That's another thing
kind of
too.
just,
I played the original Sonic, and it was like I'm not. What am I doing? I couldn't beat the first level. Oh,
yeah.
sorry, I did beat the first level. I couldn't beat the second level, but I was like, how the fuck did this get off? How did this become such a big popular thing? Like the character obviously is very unique and iconic, and obviously the
That's
marketing like
exactly how it did.
Sega do what Nintendo don't, but the game is horrible. Like it
A
is
lot of
god
people
awful.
like, a lot of people grew up with it. A lot of people like it, and it was that marketing against Nintendo and just a unique character.
Another thing too,
Just
they recently did the Ask Sonic thing again, and
saw that.
Like they usually sometimes most of the time they answer Fidel's questions, and they responded by not releasing one. And the funniest thing about it was I actually did a Ask Sonic hashtag, and I said, "Can you please ratio Fidel? Thank you." And I was like, they indirectly answered my question.
Fantastic. He deserves it. I love him, but he deserves it. Okay,
When
what's
is he coming on
next?
the show? It's gonna be a meme now. He's never gonna be on the show.
We'll get him when we're rich and famous.
We'll get Miyamoto first, and he'll speak English the entire time before Fidel gets on the show.
Yeah, good luck with that one. Next, in
Wait,
terms of what's up?
wait, no, don't go down. I just realized something I could have done the entire time.
What were you? What?
Move my camera an inch over.
You dumbass. Why didn't I think of that?
There we
Professional. We're professionals.
go. Well, I don't usually have my green screen up, and also it's not
I
like
know.
the most convenient green. It's like a giant circle. Not to mention, I can't even. It's so hard to close. Like it fits in this. It's like a. How do I just? It's like those sun things you put in your car, like over
Yeah.
the window. It's like that. So you have to like twist it, and it doesn't really work, and the edges are like a lot harder and not as super bendy. And then you have to put it in like a disc thing. It's so hard and like extra, but I got it for Christmas, so I use it all the time. So I'm
Hey,
happy
may as well.
about that. But I I'd rather have like one of those ones you just set behind and then just pull up, pull down.
Yeah.
I think those ones are a
Right.
little more expensive though.
I mean, I'd have to imagine.
And I mean, granted, I could just get a green cart or tarp and put it behind me too, but you know.
True. Oh well. But outside of movie news, there have been a lot of talks lately about a rumored Nintendo Direct that has yet to happen.
This was in August,
But if Direct, come on, Direct speculation starts in July.
right
But
after right after E3. Nintendo has another direct plan. Oh, what?
well, we also said that after September 2019, and look where that got us.
Yeah. Well,
But anyways,
everyone's like, "Oh, it's so expected for Nintendo to have a direct." I don't know. Maybe.
they
And if
always
even if
have
they
them in
don't, oh
September.
well, I don't
And
know.
I think they've kind of caught on to the fact that people are
Oh, it
expecting it.
leaked.
They're gonna be like,
They're not gonna have it.
it wouldn't surprise me. But anyways,
What if
a
they actually
rumor
planned
for
on having a direct in the summer last year, and because like Paper Mario and everything else leaked beforehand, they just like, all right, let's just tweet it.
yeah, they should have put Agent Calamity in the Mario Direct, giving us a curveball. Here's one final announcement. It's Zelda.
It's not Mario.
His anniversary sucks. Let's
Here's
get a
the
head
other
start on
Mario that you
Zelda's.
know and love. The other Mario,
Green Mario, not that one.
the blue Mario. No, the girl Mario, that one.
Yes. But a big rumor that's been going around lately is the fact that apparently Xenoblade 3 is not only nearing completion, it's the fact that we could see it as early as this year, and it comes out sometime next year.
With how
Apparently,
with
go
how
ahead.
big Xenoblade is as a game, not a friend. I mean, as a game, like
Right.
there is so much to do in Xenoblade 2. We can see that with Chugga Conroy's episode count. There is just so
Yeah.
much to do in that game. How the hell is this done already after definitive? Because it seemed like whatever the extra story is called, I can't remember. that was pretty a sizable amount of content as well. And they're
Monolith
already
has
almost done, and then it was supposed to
Monolith
release this year or
has
next year.
yeah, it was supposed to release this year before COVID, but you have to realize Monolith is growing astronomically,
Yeah,
and
but
that's
that game, potentially an export, Xenoblade 3, or sorry, Definitive Edition, Xenoblade 3, potentially an export, and Zelda.
I'll give you some food for thought here. X came out in December 2015,
Yep,
earlier in Japan, but that's different, and it 2 came out 2 years later. They probably were working on them together, side to side, and just somehow makes it work. They're crazy over there.
I don't know. And somehow they still produce quality games. You
Oh
want to
yeah,
talk about Game Freak? No, it's a lot of people talk. I wanted to say this. A lot of people give Game Freak shit. I don't think it's Game Freak. I think it's Pokemon, and it's because like, actually, you mind if I go off really quick? I know it's kind of off
please do.
topic, but Pokemon Black and White, a lot of people say was the last great Pokemon game. And like,
Mm,
think about this: they had enough time to make the game, have a decent sized post game, a actual sort of setup for the game to where they're like, okay, well, first of all the Pokemon are animated. First of all, which is the first a series first, and
right.
constantly being animated as well as in pixels. Um, but this was set up to be a huge Pokemon game, and then they're like, well, there's only going to be completely new Pokemon. When it was marketed, it was only going to be new Pokemon, and then on top of that, in the post game, there are old Pokemon. So they had a setup, they had a plan that they had. They executed that plan. They did a whole lot of extra polishing to the main game, added a decent sized post game with Cynthia. They also
Mm,
had Future Sight. There's an area in the game, spoilers, if you've never played Black and White, but there's an area in the post game of Black and White that sets up Black and White 2. So they had Future Sight as well.
mm,
So they went through this entire game, released it, had Future Sight for a sequel, not just like a definitive edition, a full-on sequel, and then had
right.
an equal amount of quality to the original game in the sequel with entirely redone sprites, everything. It was an entirely new game. Obviously, they retreaded a little bit of older ground because it was the same world, but they usually
Right.
do that with definitive editions anyway, or platinums, emeralds, etc.
Mm,
But this was a whole ass new game.
yeah.
And then X and Y came out. People think it's mediocre. I love X and Y. I don't really care what you say, but X and Y was a little bit more and I will agree that it is less quality than Black and White was. But this was a whole new generation or dimension, I should say. It was the first mainline series in 3D.
Mm,
It was they added a whole new type which completely changed the what you call it type chart, and they also had the entirety idea
did I
of
lose
mega
you?
evolution. So, oh, shit. Sorry, I don't know what
All good.
happened. Where'd you?
Don't worry about it.
Uh, so it seemed like, I mean, obviously a lot of people say it was mediocre, and I will agree it was kind of unfinished a little bit as well because there's whole ass
Right.
areas that weren't really explored a whole lot. The anime was like 10 times better than the game, which says something because the previous season, Black and White, was mediocre, most people think, which is weird. They had
Right.
the whole flip flop essentially. Um, and you can tell that there was a lot of potential in X and Y, but X and Y is kind of where they got their start in that whole Pokemon game has to come out every year thing. And
Yeah.
their quality sort of dipped, and that's not the fault of Game Freak because you could tell that there was so much that they wanted to do with the franchise at this point. Coming off of
Mm,
Black and White, entering in the Mega Evolution, and the fact that it was 3D, and Sun and Moon, there's a lot of potential there. Obviously, a lot of their efforts went into character development because A lot of people remember Sun and Moon for their characters rather than the actual story, because even Sun and Moon's story was pretty mediocre. And obviously the graphics took a backseat since Sun and Moon going into Sword and Shield. So they had ideas. They were trying to build something here. Even in Sun and Moon, there's implied lore there with the whole Ultra Beasts and the Ultra Wormholes and the Mega Evolution and the whole split timeline shenanigans. They wanted this to be a thing, but Pokemon Company said, you have a deadline, be done by this point.
Yeah.
And a lot of people blame Game Freak because, yes, I guess technically it's their fault because the graphics are bad or whatever, but it's not. They didn't want that to happen. They had to put the graphics on the backseat in order to release a decent game, because Pokemon said you have to release a game every year. That's why this year, when we have Diamond and Pearl, it's being produced by Ilka, so they can focus on something that's a little bit more bigger in scale. Even then, right now, we're going to go into the Pokemon Direct soon. It still kind of looks pretty bad, the Legends Arceus, but that's because they didn't have any time. They didn't have time, and Pokemon's not letting them.
Pokemon just doesn't have any interest in quality. Right now, it's quantity.
They don't care about the games. They care about Pikachu.
Yeah.
They're becoming Disney. Well, I don't even want to say they're becoming Disney, because Disney is still producing quality stuff. Like,
this is an outsider's perspective, but I'm honestly getting a little bit worried about the future of the Pokemon games, especially since the Pokemon cards have blown up in the last year or so.
Yeah. Which I don't think that if they did solely rely on the trading card game, which they wouldn't, but if they did, their industry would crumble. It would be, Pokemon would not be a thing anymore.
The card game is still booming. I know it's not for reasons that about the card game. It's about just YouTubers opening up boxes and getting hype. But it's the fact that they're already so willing to let these games come out unfinished, unpolished, and they still sell 15, 20 million every year.
This is the era of nostalgia, if you can understand where I'm coming, across all industries. And Pokemon is almost the leader in that. Disney is doing a similar thing. They're remastering all their movies into live action. Pokemon is at its height of its popularity. Even though it's a massive company, after Pokemon Go, they blew the fuck up again. And Let's Go was a perfect entry point for those who haven't played the series in a long time, sort of leading them into Sword and Shield. But the quality filter is just gone because they're not allowed to produce what they want to produce, and because Pokemon wants to fulfill the casuals than the hardcore fans. Because I'm a hardcore Pokemon fan, but I thought Sword and Shield was okay. It was really weird to look at. I would agree. The graphics are pretty bad, but it was an okay Pokemon experience. I would rather go back to the classics, even ending in Gen 6, with Gen 6. But there's just, I don't know. And this is like where they should be bringing in more people, and because how big it's blown up. Trading cards, Pokemon Go, but they're not doing anything with it. They're just producing horrible content.
They can be lazy about it, because look how much flack that Sword and Shield got. That was back when the Switch only sold like 50, 60 million units. It's still above 20 million.
Sword and Shield is all right. It's just mediocre. It's just another. It's like what Call of Duty is doing.
Even mediocre can sell 20 plus million copies.
Exactly. Which is unfortunate. And so whether or not Game Freak cares, Pokemon surely does not.
Right.
And it's also another unfortunate thing because Game Freak can make other games too. We've seen that. Apparently they made the original Yoshi puzzle game, which I had no idea. But they can also make other games. An example of this, there was a lot of potential in Little Town Hero, but that was a goddamn failure. And that was because they don't have time to make other games. They have to make Pokemon.
Yeah, they need to either make separate teams and just be more experimental, be more creative. But they don't care because whatever they pull out, everyone's going to buy it because Pokemon.
Tying it back into Monolith Soft, and I guess we're probably going to transition into Pokemon Presents as well. But how much that Monolith Soft is able to do and still produce quality content is astounding.
Yeah. Well, even so, they get 3-4 years between releases. Like, I'm
Exactly.
pretty sure after 2 came out, they started working on Torna, they started planning the next Xenoblade.
They went from, well, I don't know what Monolith worked on prior to or after Xenoblade 1, but it was like Xenoblade 1, and then they had some smaller project, maybe some Zelda in there, and then they had
Pretty
obviously
sure it
Breath of the
was.
Wild too. That was the
I'm
thing.
pretty sure it was just they started work on Xenoblade X, and they began. Well, they worked on the three. Let me look this up because I know they did the 3DS version of Xenoblade,
That was after
and
X,
obviously,
right?
no, that was earlier in the year.
So
That
you
was
got
April.
the original game, you got Breath of the Wild, you have the 3DS or port, not even, it's more
Mm.
of a demake actually. The Xenoblade X, right into Xenoblade 2, right into Torna, right into Breath of the Wild 2, and then the port of, or the definitive edition, and the extra post game story. Like, they worked on a lot, especially in the last few years.
So they
The
worked on
last
the
decade, really.
they worked on 2 Project X Zone games between Xenoblade and Xenoblade X. Apparently, they also helped out on Animal Crossing New Leaf, Pikmin 3,
Hmm.
A Link Between Worlds. They keep busy.
That's that's astounding, especially
They
I don't even know
are
how much
absolutely
money Nintendo gives to Monolith Soft because they clearly
given
don't
they're
give any to Pokemon. Like, I don't know what's
given
going
they're
on here.
constantly growing, and this team is willing to jump around anywhere they need to. They've been working on the last Breath of the Wild 2 and Breath of the Wild. They've worked on A Link Between Worlds. They can be moved anywhere, and the team is so talented. I think they've realized what they have in that team, and thank God, because yeah,
And
Pokemon
another thing
is
I've noticed
being
too
allowed to
is
do whatever they
that
want.
I don't know, either the developers are getting old, or like Nintendo doesn't really make games anymore. They're like outsourcing to their major, like, obviously they make Mario and they make Zelda, but they seem to be outsourcing. Like, they haven't made a Metroid game in who knows how long, and they're
That's fair.
outsourcing to a team that is very capable, obviously. And the same thing goes for like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. They outsourced that to Toys for Bob, and they did a great job. They took the idea and ran with it, and it still feels like classic Crash. And the same thing
Mhm.
goes for like all these other things. And so I'm wondering if Ilka is trying to be that for Pokemon. So I don't know if they'll make a new main series game. I think they'll probably take over the remakes, so that allows for Game Freak to work on the next big generation and have more time with that. But obviously right now they're trying to be a little bit more experimental, especially with Arceus. But
Mhm.
I wonder, because they seem to be doing that across the industry, like those classic games that people still want to play, but maybe the modern companies don't really want to look at that too much. They just outsource to a company that is a lot more beneficial.
Right.
It's trying to think of like a major example of this other than Mercury Steam that did this, and Toys for Bob.
Um,
There was another one that was a very great example. I don't know if it wasn't Mega Man. It was something else. Oh, it was supposed to be Mega Man. It was Mighty Number 9, but that didn't happen.
yeah.
Um, oh, Sonic Mania. That's right. Sonic
Oh
Mania.
yeah. Yeah. But now that you mention it, you're right, because Nintendo really only works on their main IPs like Splatoon, mainline Mario, Zelda.
And you think Splatoon is still new. So they're probably worried about their newer stuff first. And they're like, well, people still want to play our classics. So let's outsource people who are capable and can still make the game feel like itself. Like Metroid Dread, I assume is going to feel just like a traditional Metroid game. It's not even made by Nintendo. It's made by Mercury Steam. So that's great. I still love to see that. But it's just a weird
Nintendo
pattern that I've been seeing.
Nintendo works on their biggest IPs. Everything else, they don't care. They work on a few smaller ones, like they haven't given out Pikmin to anyone yet besides 3DS one. So technically, they
Is
haven't released the.
Intelligent on that? Does
No,
Intelligent
I
make
don't.
Pikmin?
I think it was Azrest who made the 3DS one, but no. Um,
The best one. I'm just
if I remember
kidding. I'm just
correctly,
kidding.
if I remember correctly, it's what team is? It's the 2D Mario team that also works on Pikmin.
Oh, okay.
So they,
So it is
yeah.
A. Okay.
So it is a mainline Nintendo team, but it really is like they give Metroid to Retro and Mercury Steam.
Well,
intelligent
retro
systems
was always
as
there, so
well. Yeah, but still, it's their baby. But yeah, they really don't work on a ton of stuff. Like I'm sure they're always around to help and lend advice and work on certain things.
well,
But
Miyamoto will always be there, and this is what I assume Sakurai will do as well for Smash. Whenever Smash Six
I
is, he'll
I
probably
think
hand it off to someone else, but he'll still be there to oversee.
yeah, Sakurai will be there for a supervisor role. But I really think that we're gonna see Miyamoto retire after this Mario movie comes out.
Really,
I
that's scary to think about.
he's getting
Like
near his 70s.
I know, but I don't. There's that would be okay if I trusted someone with the franchises that he has. Pikmin, I have no idea, because the that property is so fragile right now.
I'm really hoping they get Pikmin 3 out the no, Pikmin 4 out the door before he says his goodbyes and has a team ready that we can trust because
And well,
it can't
apparently
be
the
around
Mario
forever.
Odyssey team is entirely new staff too, all young people, which I don't know.
Miyamoto hasn't really worked on Mario in quite some time. He
But he's
really
but he's
doesn't work
always
on.
been there to oversee and make
Yes,
changes where
that's true.
necessary. Because otherwise, we'll
But
end up
I
with a Hotel
I
Mario.
mean, look at Koizumi. He's been in the trenches for years. He's ready to take on Mario. I think that Mario will be fine without Miyamoto. I am just worried about like the smaller IPs. Like, will we ever see F Zero again? Will Pikmin survive without his obvious care?
Hmm.
Which is why we need to release Pikmin 4 on a successful system. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Pikmin 3 didn't do very well, so on
It did two
deluxe, I
million
mean,
units on. It did 2 million units on Switch. That is almost a million
it's
more
pretty
than the highest sell.
low compared to most, um,
It's gonna outsell
whatever.
WarioWare. WarioWare is not doing so hot, to be honest. But I know what you mean. But 2 million. I mean, Xenoblade only sells 2 million. Look how big
Hmm.
of attention they get.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason, but
And it's also a Wii U port, so a lot of
I
the
don't. I
hardcore
don't think you
Nintendo
can
fans.
slap titties on a Pikmin.
Oh my
So
god! My point is, little tiny monsters can sell over 2 million, and nearly as many copies as tits.
uh
No, as
but
long as
again,
four is
my
a good
point
game,
is
I think
that
they're fine.
just like Mercury Steam, just like other things, we have to feel comfortable with whoever Miyamoto's sending the torch to. And I'm worried because, especially because of the franchises that he still has and are technically active franchise. I don't know. I think technically F Zero is an active franchise, even though it's been dead for a long time. But
I
same thing
think
for
you're
Pikmin. Same thing for Mario, because we haven't seen a 2D Mario in a long ass time. Um,
I think you're giving
so
Miyamoto too much credit. He has not really worked on like supervising games that much in a while. He's been focused on the movie. He's been focused on like I'm sure he's still around, but he's definitely got his focus elsewhere. And I'm sure he's been looking for that replacement. I think at least for Mario, that replacement is Koizumi.
have you noticed that something has changed in Nintendo in the last few years?
What do you mean?
Like, obviously we had Iwata and that was amazing, and he, again, the whole Wii U mistake, that was
Right.
interesting, and that was probably one of his only few mistakes. But in this last couple of years, we had that one replacement for Iwata because of his untimely death,
Yes.
and then we had the new guy that stepped up after him. Can't remember what their names are, but
Uh, Furukawa is the current one.
there's one that was there for like a year or two.
He was there for like 2, 3 years, basically enough to get the Switch off the ground. I can't remember his name, and I feel bad because he did a really good job.
But the Switch's launch was amazing, and it just seemed like Nintendo was hitting banger after banger, even into 2018. And then 2019 is where they fizzled off. And even though they want to recreate 2017, and I still hope they do, and I think it'll still be an amazing year in 2022, but just something happened. Like it's just, even though obviously COVID-19 was a thing, just even in 2019 and this year too, just there's something weird going on, like on the
Being brutally
business side.
honest here, I don't agree with you just because the reason we didn't see as many big IPs in those years because they blew their load in 2017.
Hmm.
when you release a big Mario Kart,
But I mean, the Switch
Mario, Zelda.
itself, like, it seems like, well, I guess too, we're at this point where when we were hearing about the NX rumors back in 16
Yeah,
and 15, we're at that point now with the Switch, which is, I guess, maybe where I'm getting some of this, like, kind of drag from. I don't know. Because it's been that long, which is weird.
I think we're at the point we're going to have the Switch for a few more years. Nintendo's obviously in no rush to abandon it, given it's poised to potentially hit 130, 140 million units sold, if not more. Their games have been hitting, the marketing is solid. I think Nintendo's definitely been more very focused on business deals, trying to be competitive than they have been since the GameCube.
Hmm.
There's been changes. I don't think they're that drastic.
All right.
Yeah, but
We should probably move on.
yeah. Well, there's not a lot to say about Xenoblade. There's just rumors from Imran Khan over at GameBite basically saying that it potentially was slated to release this year. Obviously, COVID stopped that from happening, so
I
we could see
completely
it.
believe this rumor. I
Oh
think
yeah,
it's
same.
100% true. Um, just where's like, everything is pointing to a direct. When is it? Where is it?
Next week, tomorrow, next weekend, tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
No, God, no.
No. Everyone was
It's
like,
always
"Oh, it
it's
could like
always
all the way
tomorrow.
until Friday." They're like, "It could still happen. It could no. It only happens on
If
Tuesdays
it's
or
not announced on
Thursdays."
Wednesdays, I'm done. I
And
don't worry about
Tuesdays
it.
or Thursdays. It always happens every year. Tuesday or
Mm,
Thursday. They never stray away from that.
yeah,
Sometimes they do Wednesdays, but every once in a while. But it's always in the middle of the week. They never do
yeah.
anything outside of that. So if you think, oh, they're gonna announce it whenever, no, no, they have a thing going on. Especially this year with the trend of it being on Tuesdays so far. I think
Wednesdays.
Wednesday. So yeah, so Wednesday. It will be a Wednesday.
Frankly, I don't care. Like I said,
I'm not
it's
getting
a
Xenoblade 3,
good.
so
It's the fact that we've got such a heavy 2022 already as craze to see the next year's lineup as I am. Like, obviously, there'll be more surprises. I want to see, but I know relatively what we're going into next year, so
yeah.
they can wait as long as they want. I think they're going to have it purely because we kind of have been hearing a lot of rumors about NSO getting Game Boy.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's going to happen just solely off of that.
I mean,
But
there's just a lot of games that have been hearing rumblings that are almost confirmed at this point. We just haven't seen them yet. There's a lot of
right,
stuff, and Game Boy,
yeah,
and now N64 for some reason.
it
But
feels like it's the time is right, but Nintendo seems like they're going to try to Nintendo.
yeah.
So,
All right.
anyways, let's talk about a presentation that did happen, just in case you weren't tired of Pokemon. The Pokemon Company, Game Freak, they hosted a Pokemon Presents info on both the Gen 4 remakes, but mainly
And also a lot
Legends
of
Arceus.
spin-offs. Speaking of
Yes, please.
spin-offs, Pokemon Cafe Mix. I've never played it yet, but what is their weird naming conventions that they're doing? Like Pokemon Master Sex. Oh, sorry, Masters EX. Uh, Pokemon Cafe remake. Like, what is going on there? Anyway, Pokemon Unite has actually taken off a little bit, which is interesting to see.
I heard it's really good.
Yeah, but apparently there's controversy with the tweeter, with the person who runs the social media, whatever. Um,
Mm.
anyways, Diamond and Pearl, the show, the things that you are looking at, or that are the most important out of this, it looks great now. I was never against it in the first place. I think
Mm.
has a lot of potential. I'm glad the Game Corner is replaced by some costumes because we didn't get those in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. What is interesting though is that you can change the race of your character, which is great, but it's just
Saw
weird to
that.
see that on the like. It's weird to see Black Dawn. I know that sounds like racist, but it is weird to see that. Um, um, uh, what else was new? Oh, the I didn't really care for contests, but apparently they completely changed those as well. Pokemon follow you, hell yeah, but it also diminishes what Pal Park was. I don't know what I don't know what they're gonna do to replace that. Originally, my thought was they were gonna do it in the before it was announced. My idea was okay. They're gonna do it in the Sword and Shield art style, but it was gonna be a top down game, sort of like Omega Ruby and X and Y. It was gonna be a top down game all the way. It's gonna be a pretty much faithful remake, just a little bit bigger, because of the Sword and Shield art style. But then there would be a replacement for a wild area in the Pal Park or the Safaris or the Great Marsh as they called it. There would just be open areas that you can go to. But now I don't know what they're gonna do with the Pal Park, because the only thing that made the Pal Park interesting was you could walk around with your Pokemon, but you can do that everywhere now. So, which is great that it's great that they're finally like after so long since Heart Gold and Soul Silver, we've been begging them to have Pokemon follow us, and they didn't start doing it until Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. So it's great that it's finally a thing now, and they didn't even do it with Sword and Shield. So we're like, oh, I guess it was just a one-off thing, but now it's back and it's in full force, and
Nice.
a lot of the questions have been answered. I'm more excited for it now than I was before. There's still a lot of questions that are still out there, especially a lot of because they did talk about some of the features, but there's still a lot of features that they haven't talked about. HMs, Pokeathlon, Puffins or whatever they called it, and Mega Evolution, please. I mean, literally at the end of the trailer, they're orgasming or something. Like they're doing this weird thing where they're like screaming and like something's happening with their chest piece and shoulder piece. Like they're changing, they're doing something. And also we haven't heard anything about Battle Frontier or Giratina in general. So there's still a lot of questions, which personally I know usually Pokemon doesn't do another trailer, but also usually they would have done the one in June or May. So this is a little bit different for Pokemon. So I assume we might get one more trailer before it releases. And also what they usually used to do was during the Sun and Moon, not during Sword and Shield, which was weird to me, but during Sun and Moon they had like a small little spot in the September Direct, which I assume they're gonna do again, but I feel like it's a little too close to the presents. So I'm fully expecting another trailer. Any thoughts on Diamond and Pearl? Sorry.
You know, I made it also very clear that I don't understand Pokemon. So it looks good. Like, I've never had a problem with the art style. I think it's really cute. But I've tried so many times to get into Pokemon, I do not understand it.
All right.
I will probably pick up Legends Arceus, but I think I'm going to sit out on Gen 4.
I'm still not going to open Pikmin 4. Pikmin Deluxe, whatever.
Hey, you still bought it.
And then Legends Arceus, it still looks bad. I just don't like the Sun and Moon art style in general. It looks fine. It looks HD, I guess, but there's just something wrong with the core art style itself. Like the models they just feel separate from the overall world, and the world looks like smooth, if that makes sense. It just looks a lot really disjointed. It's just weird, but the concept of Arceus is great. I'm loving all the new forms that we saw. The new battle system looks great, and I'm excited. I don't know. This is the first time in Pokemon where I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. And like Gen 4 remakes, I'm like, okay, I kind of know what to expect. Hopefully there's some more surprises that they haven't showed us yet. Same thing with the Sword and Shield hype cycle. But with this, I'm just like, I don't know what's going on yet. So I'm excited, but I have to see it when I play it. So this is the first time I've ever done that for Pokemon. So
I've followed the game, and I really don't even know what the purpose of the game is. It's like, yeah, I know you're supposed to like.
What it seems like is that it's completing the Pokedex, which is great because Catch 'em All was like the thing Pokemon was about, and now it's kind of fizzled out because there's so many fucking Pokemon. But I'm glad that they're trying to recontextualize it in ways that you can actually capture Pokemon and actually fulfill that sort of quota, because no one did that even in the first generation, no one really did that.
Yeah.
So
some people did. Not
I'm glad that they're contextualizing it now so that it's sort of like a main focus. Even in Let's Go, they completely changed the battle system, so it was literally marketed for you to catch Pokemon. Let's Go. There's nothing else to do other than catch Pokemon. So I'm glad that they're contextualizing this. A lot of people think too, they're like, oh, there's no national desk, nah, 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 nah. And I understand if you want to bring your Pokemon over from previous generations, because that's the only problem that I have with it. But I think that having a lesser amount of Pokemon just in your entire decks in general is a lot better, and it makes more for you to do because it allows you to have a lower number to actually capture Pokemon. Sword and Shield didn't really have that, but Let's Go and Arceus will definitely have that. Well,
Mm.
we don't really know what the premise is of Arceus still yet, but I assume it is filling out the Pokedex with like you're like, oh, you're
That's what I've
filling out
heard.
your Pokedex, and all of a sudden Arceus comes down and like wants to kill you or something. I don't know. The literal god of Pokemon just comes down like shooting lasers at you.
It looks interesting. I need to see a little more gameplay. I hope it does well because I really want to see Game Freak and Pokemon just make a good effort.
Yeah, I wonder if that would be funny if Pokemon Company had no idea that this was happening. That would be funny. They're just like, oh, you're
Like,
doing the Diamond and Pearl remakes, and then the Legends Arceus trailer. They're like, well, we can't say anything because technically you are releasing a game this year, so
well, guess we're shutting up now.
yeah.
Alrighty. Finally away from Pokemon. I don't
Sorry,
understand.
sorry.
No, you're all good. There's been a few more Metroid Dread reports, and a new trailer has dropped. I have been very good on avoiding all of it because I want to go in as blind as possible.
I don't know anything about Metroid. Never played any of them, so I'm kind of going into it blind anyway. I know like who characters are, and if you haven't seen the
Right.
trailer, then I'm not going to say about it. But I don't know. The trailers mean nothing to me, so
That's fair. I'm not a big Metroid guy either, but I've been playing a lot of Metroidvanias lately. I'm going through games. I just don't want to have the environments ruined for me, I guess.
yeah. And I want it to do well as well because Metroid is kind of that weird series where, like I said, with like F-Zero or something, it's technically an active series, but we don't see games for like 5 years apart or 10 years
Yeah.
apart sometimes. So it's just like, so I want to see it do well, especially if they want Prime to succeed. So
I think Metroid's finally going to get its big break. I really feel like there's a lot of hype for Dread, and that will transfer over to Prime 4, Prime Trilogy.
not to mention, it's always had a problem. Like even throughout its entire life cycle, like everyone loves them, but they love them now. And they loved them then too, but it was never like a
Not,
huge thing
yeah.
back then. Other than
People didn't show up
Smash
for Metroid.
Brawl, but you know why.
Yeah.
We,
Yeah,
we
people didn't
can't
show
talk
up for
about this
Metroid.
twice.
They were modest successes, but not enough for Nintendo to actually care.
And especially in the last few years with Other M, which I don't know why. There's some things wrong with Other M, but it's not that bad of a game in general. But
Yeah.
you know, Blast Ball or whatever the hell happened, and it was kind of like a bad time. It was a dreadful time for Metroid. So
I mean, not to run away from Metroid too quickly, we'll have in another episode, but let's get through some updates. Mario Golf got one. Animal Crossing for like the 100th month in a row did not. So Mario Golf added New Donk City as a course and Toadette as a playable character.
if you want to hear
Exciting.
my thoughts on Animal Crossing, check out the Hee Hee podcast. Hey, I don't even know how to pronounce it,
There's
but
so much sponsorship in this episode. Where's my
he didn't
check? Where's my
he
check?
didn't pay me anything
Why are we doing this?
because no one's like, well, no one watches our podcast, but no one watches his
Yes,
either. So
they watch our direct predictions and our E3 stuff. Let's be real; those get good
yeah,
numbers.
but we're still
But
kind of small and niche, and we're on our own channel, and he's on his channel. So I mean, but my point with that is that if you want to hear all my thoughts on Animal Crossing, watch that. Animal Crossing had its big break, and especially because of how niche that it's almost like Metroid level of popularity. This is one of those franchises that needed to get big, and it did, but also it needed also longevity, and the game was almost perfect for that. and it didn't, and it didn't,
The thing is, I
it
don't
didn't
think
hit.
Nintendo expected the same success
Oh
that
no.
um, it got just because of COVID. It blew up the way it did because of COVID. I think they
And
had
COVID.
a 1 year. They had a 1 year roadmap planned out. They're going to give all this stuff that we already got. Have the team focus on Splatoon 3.
But
But
my
since
problem
it
with
did
that
blow
is
up
that
like it did, good.
they're like, we have a 1 year roadmap, whatever, but it's still almost an inferior game to New Leaf. There's so much more to
It
do in
is.
that game.
It absolutely is.
And
And I'm so glad that people are coming along with that.
that's the main problem, is that even though New Horizons has so much potential, the game is like not done yet. Like, and even though we know that there's more updates coming, like there's significant features that are just not there. Even like things that are in the game, they're lacking.
Yeah.
Like Nook's Cranny, for example. There's only 2 updates to it, and apparently there was 3 in
Yep,
the original. There's just a lot of
there
things that
was.
are just what, a lot of things that are gone from the game are just like kind of because of the way that the game is, since you're on an island, not in uh, a town anymore, and also,
Mm-hmm.
with new features, you have to remove some features, like, having the fact that you can build outside and that you can change the terrain and things like that, or just, and obviously the shopping district was never going to come back, just things like that.
Yeah.
But things like Cap'n didn't need to leave, or just there's a
Literally,
plethora of things.
it's it. I get what they were trying to do. It feels kind of like a soft reboot, but the amount of content that was cut to get the crafting mechanic, I don't feel was.
I know. And another thing too is like, I don't, I don't know. It's just like there's so much potential there, and also they didn't do anything. I don't know. I just hope Animal Crossing isn't over yet. Maybe
It's
they'll
not. They
just
have updates coming.
maybe they just do what they did with Welcome Amiibo, where they just reproduce the game and then make a massive new update that will bring fans back. Because a minor update that adds Brewster, yeah, it's great. Or maybe something different like Cap'n or something. That's great. Maybe it'll bring me back, but it won't bring like big people
It'd
back.
bring
Like,
me back for two
yeah.
days.
But if they do like a
But I
huge update, call it, like a completely new game, like or that like Welcome Amiibo was, I assume it'll bring like huge people back. Like Jacksepticeye maybe will do an episode or 2 on it. Like,
I
it'll
don't
bring people back if they remarket it essentially. But I
I
don't think they'll
don't
do.
think they're gonna remarket it. I think they are gonna have a big update. I think it is gonna be hopefully what big Animal Crossing fans have been waiting for back. I haven't 6 months. I have no reason to. I fell off hardcore. And
Same.
honestly, these small updates, yeah, they definitely won't bring me back.
And
Like
they're
if in the
great.
next direct,
The small
if in the
updates
next
are
direct,
great, but they're just not
if I see
enough.
that Brewster's back, I'll be like, oh yay! I asked for that. I hate being this way. I asked for that a year ago. I'm not going back to go work at a coffee shop they're like, I'm not. I
It's true. Hold up. Sorry, my internet pops in and out.
oh, you're all good. But just the lack of excitement for Animal Crossing. I don't think I'm gonna come back unless
Yeah.
I had my. It's glad it sold as well as it did because now I really hope that Nintendo sees that and tries harder with the next one.
Yeah.
Anyways, the actual update that did happen, Mario Golf added New Donk City and Toad as a playable character. I forget, did you pick up Mario Golf?
Nope. I'm actually gonna
Okay,
sell my copy of Aces. I don't like Mario spin-offs.
that's fair. I had a really good time with it. Like I don't want to say it's as bare bones as the last Mario Golf game because the one on 3DS is pretty good, but it is lacking in content compared to that. I didn't like this course that much,
Hmm.
and that makes me sad. Every single hole is a par 3, so that it's cool, but after like 3 or 4 different holes, it kind of just feels like more of the same. Like you're just basically hitting off the different streets on the city, and it's underwhelming.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I'm hoping the next course they add is, I hate saying things like this, more creative. Like, I get it, getting that Odyssey tie-in was smart, but
But even with the crafted world, Woolly World stage, it was just a basic golf course set in Woolly World, right?
that's kind of what I want, to be honest with you.
But don't you just said you wanted them to be more creative? Like I'm imagining
Okay,
like
yes.
wacky stages where you're, I don't know, like Mushroom Gorge where it's not like a set path, it's like a bunch of
Okay, fair
mushrooms
point.
everywhere. Something like
I'm
that.
not against that, but the Yoshi's Woolly World course was cool. I like the cool aesthetic is nice. The courses did feel a little different. I'm thinking more so like the DK course they had in the game.
I don't remember. I don't know.
It was yeah. I want normal golf, but I want it to feel like I'm in a Mario game.
Yeah, fair enough. I
Yeah,
mean, the
but
desert one is pretty Mario-y,
yeah, but
or more like Layer Cake Desert, but
yeah, it's a good game. I kind of stopped playing it too. I'm hoping the next update brings it back a little bit more because I kind of got really into ranked mode that this update added to. But after I got the multiple colored Yoshis in last month's like tournament kind of thing, I stopped playing.
you know what the most fun I had with with Mario Tennis Open was?
Hmm.
I was I went on Game Explain and they had like a whole video of just QR codes, and I just had so much fun downloading them and trying to figure out what they were. I don't know
Hmm.
why that was the most fun thing for me, but that's the only thing that stick out that I remember from a Mario spin-off game. Other than maybe like
I
the one-off Mario Party game that I've had, but
I totally forgot about that game. Besides, like that little side mode that you could like throw a tennis ball at a wall and basically like play through like the original Mario Bros.
yeah. Oh
That was
yeah.
cool.
But
That was
honestly,
cool.
that is the most fun Mario Tennis game. I know. Controversy
Mario
right there.
Tennis is just
Mario Tennis Aces, Ultra Smash. I don't even know. I've never played it. I know it's horrible,
it's
but
not worth it.
Aces was okay. But first of all, there's only one tennis game that I love, and we all love it. It's called Wii Sports. But I think the mechanics that were in Open were interesting. Like you can move your character around, and you can go to like those special spots, which are in Aces as well. But it just the
They're not the
mechanics
same.
are, yeah, it's not the same. And I don't know. It just felt right. Like if
Yeah,
you were to play with buttons, it felt right in Mario Tennis Aces. That was like kind of like peak for me. But
I'm
if
just
you're
not a
playing with
tennis.
motion controls, which were also in Aces, also peaked in Wii Sports. So
I'm just not a tennis person, so that's just my bias. Like I was excited for golf. I enjoyed the time I played with it, but this one didn't stick me like I was kind of hoping it would.
Mario Madden. What if they actually did like had a licensed game, Mario Madden? But
I can
again,
see
I
it now.
go outside. Like we don't need sports
Let
game.
people
Like
enjoy
Mario
things.
games are okay because it's like, oh, you can do some wacky things with it, which they don't do, but you can do some wacky, power shit with Mario, but you can go with Madden, you just go outside and play football. Like you don't need to fantasize about playing as Larry Fitzgerald, like especially with how bad the new modern sports games are with loot boxes and shit.
Yeah,
Like just go outside. There's no game there.
too much work. Speaking of, no, that
Work.
does that.
Speaking
This
of
yes.
work,
Speaking of work, you better get to work and play the WarioWare
demo.
demo.
I didn't even play
The
the
game
demo
isn't out
yet.
yet. This is
Yeah,
totally not filmed in the
I
future.
haven't even played the demo yet, but
You have got to
WarioWare.
play it.
You know what my first experience with WarioWare was?
Hmm.
SpongeBob SquarePants U Draw.
No way.
Yes. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
That was the fun. That was so much fun. But
It
I've
was
never
so
played
good.
another Wario game since. And even
It,
though I know it's the
you
same
have
thing,
to.
that's why
You
I want to
have
pick up.
to.
That's why I want to pick up this one. But although it's very different from most. Well, all the Wario games
It's
are
very
different. But
good. Like
I want
it.
to get
I
it.
was.
Trust me, I want to.
You have to. You
I
have to.
will.
It can go on the shelf right next to Pikmin 3 that you'll never play.
I downloaded it. Thank God. Now I don't have to look at it every day.
Hey, that just means you can't sell it.
I don't know. I get my free money from the digital coins, whatever.
Ooh, a whole whopping what, $3?
But anyway, I love the concept of WarioWare. I really want to buy it, and I haven't played one in a long time since you draw. So,
The demo is
yeah,
really cool. It gives you a good bit of content to play. It'll keep you busy for like a.
I watched Dashi
If
play
you
it. So,
if you haven't gotten the game yet, you have to check out the demo. It's really fun.
speaking of Wario,
Yes.
please give us like the only good. I'm just kidding, not only good. I'm joking, but Wario Land is amazing. I want another Wario Land game. Please, not Shake It. Okay, the art style was great. It was made by Good Feel. Great. I want a Wario Land 2 level of WarioWare game. That that I've never played it, but I've watched Slim Kirby play it. It was amazing. The concept it's like it takes the original Mario and like literally flips it on his head, Mario Wario. Like
Right.
it was so good. It was not it was a traditional it was like an open world 2D platformer. It was great. Like all the different branching pathways that you can do. And I'm not talking about Wario Land 1. I'm talking about Wario Land 2. Like 2
Right.
is where it like peaked. And if you watch like Ant Dude's video, which I highly recommend that you do, it pretty much describes it perfectly. Like I want another one of those types of WarioWare games. And I didn't really like 4. 4 wasn't very good. And Shake It
I
was the same
mean,
thing.
never say never, but it's obvious that Nintendo definitely sees more future with, which seems like a little bit of a missed opportunity. WarioWare is amazing, but
Yeah.
bringing back Wario Land, especially in the absence of 2D Mario, would be smart.
Mm-hmm. Well, where does 2D Mario go from here? I don't even know where the gaming industry is going from here because it seems like the mass audience want to watch movies instead of playing video game. I will fight you till the day I die. I don't like The Last of Us because it's not a game, it's a movie. Like I'd rather watch someone else play it. Like and it's the same
I
with most other games. Even games like fucking Final Fantasy VII Remake. It is a movie. You're playing a movie. There's obviously some game mechanics like in the new or the integrate. There's like the Fort Conqueror and the battle system, but there's only hallways. You're walking through hallways, listening to characters talk for 20 minutes, and then you go shoot some people. Like this is all what modern game or they're Madden, or
this is
they're
definitely
or
this
they're
is
Fortnite.
definitely
There's
the
literally
future
three
you're
games.
getting.
Three
This is definitely
games.
the future you're getting with PlayStation.
You got
You're
you got
not gonna.
you have three games right now. You got Fortnite, you got The Last of Us, and you got Madden. That's all you got, and that's literally all you got. And if you get the one-off platformer, people think that, oh, that's just the indie. Why is Nintendo releasing an indie Metroid?
You've got Nintendo and you've got everyone else. Nintendo's the one keeping the creativity, the gameplay based
Because
games alive.
that is
Sony's
a game.
so
You're playing something. You're not watching a movie.
I will admit I do like my cinematic experiences, but I
Yes,
definitely get what you're saying.
and I think that showing off power is great because 4K whatever it looks beautiful for a game, but you're not playing anything. That's why I love Spider-Man because regardless of the story, you're playing a game. You're swinging through the city. You can actually feel that shit. But
Right.
with Last of Us, you shoot a couple people for 5 minutes and then watch a 20-minute cutscene. Like
You're definitely
I'm
we could have this argument all
oversimplifying it,
day.
yes,
You
but
were
compared
definitely
to
oversimplifying it. I get what you're
Mario,
saying. You're
and
right.
again, my point with that was where does Mario go from here? Obviously, they might do some crazy twist with the next 2D Mario game, but it doesn't really fit in today's modern market.
I think we're
Metroid,
gonna go
yes,
in
because it has been a long time since Metroid. But
we are gonna
how
go
can you
into
do
another
a new
drought.
Super Mario game again? You can't do
We're
another
not
new
gonna
Super Mario Bros.
see
Game.
I don't think we're gonna see another 2D Mario
You
outside of
can't.
Mario for the next 10, 15 years. They will try something new eventually. But right now, Mario Maker's too new. Mario Maker
But Mario
has room for
Maker,
growth.
again, I would say yes to that. But Mario Maker died so quickly.
It's
It
because they
didn't
didn't have
need
time to.
to.
They didn't support it fast enough. They weren't smart. They took out options that people wanted. They didn't properly.
And
They
the
didn't.
first game, if you
They
wanted to go
didn't.
back to
They
those
did.
features, the online service is gone. like,
Yeah.
ugh. Like,
The
and
problem
also
is,
Mario
Switch
Maker
was not
almost
built for Mario Maker.
true, but nor was the 3DS. But I played more out of
You're
that.
never gonna get. I don't think you're ever gonna get another. It's gonna be as built as well for Mario Maker as the Wii. But I
Again,
think
I
Nintendo is
never
going to keep trying.
I never expected a sequel to Mario. I don't even think it needed one. I think it just needed a port, realistically. But
Mhm.
um, what I got the impression of, and I'm pretty sure Nintendo said this themselves, that Mario Maker was meant to be. They're like, here, you can make your own Mario levels. It's very cool, and people took it and ran with it, and they're still running with it. I still watch Mario Maker videos to this day. Um,
Right.
DGR, yeah, DGR. Um, Steven plays. But what my original envision, which I assume was Nintendo's envision with it, was uh, you build your own levels, and they will use those level ideas from the community and make a new Mario game. And I guess they kind of did that with the story mode, but I expected
Mhm.
them to do like a full on new Mario game with elements that the fans have made, and it was almost like a
Right.
perfect thing to that, but they didn't do it.
Yeah. I don't know what the future brings for 2D Mario. Obviously, given the success of New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, they're not going to abandon it. They'll go back to it at some point. But I don't think they're in a rush, and I think that's why the Odyssey team is rumored to be making that 2D. I think that's their way of continuing Mario like 2D experiences while not making 2D Mario.
Fair.
But I mean, another game did drop in August. I don't think either of us played it, but I know you wanted to talk. Being No More Heroes 3.
I personally got a weird addiction to it now. I've been watching a lot of people play it. I really need to get into it myself, but there's one issue with that. So,
Use that
uh,
sponsorship money we're getting.
uh, this is the second free sponsorship on this channel, by the way.
For
Well,
all free.
kind of free, but he he paid me in free T-shirts, so or that still hasn't come. More like free masks, but I mean I still love the guy. I'm not mad at him. I'm like, but
Right.
anyway, No More Heroes is a great franchise. You definitely need to check it out. I've been hearing Steve praise to God about this game. I or praise the heck out of this game, not to God, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I've been hearing Steve talk about it for the longest time. I've been watching people play it, and it's a great series. I've seen one and a little bit of three so far, and it's so not Nintendo, and originally wasn't Nintendo, but now it is, and it's all the better for it. Obviously, No More Heroes 3 doesn't run the best on the Switch, but I think it just adds to the comedy. Um, but the game is just, it literally is almost like like a Deadpool movie all the way through. It's great. It's about an otaku dude that like wants to live life in anime, and he basically does. And there's just it sort of sounds like a premise for a game that like two drunk dudes come up with, and Suda51
Mm.
kind of like represents that, which is kind of funny, but it it's kind of like sounds like something you would think about like a Western person to make about a something a Japanese audience would like, and that would be completely tone deaf, but it makes fun of itself all the time. It's great. Like it's like one. How do I explain it? You know that game that Scott the Woz did a video on. It
Which
was like
one?
that, like the desert motorcycle game.
Yes. The worst rated game of all time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's if you think about it like someone who's developing a game like that, but ended up coming out with a masterpiece, but like created by Western creators that don't know anything about gaming or anything, that type of thing,
Mhm.
and it but obviously it was created by a Japanese person, so that's all the better. So it's just a hilarious game all the way through. It was basically like a Deadpool movie. You would think it wouldn't be good, but it was great. It was a great experience. Has great gameplay features. Just it's great. I want to check it out. No More Heroes 3. It just came out this month. But I still want to check it out, and yeah, I hope the series continues from here.
I will definitely pick it up once my backlog is cleared. So, estimated June of 2074.
It's a very short game, so if you want to check it out, do it.
When I've got like 200 very short games, it adds up quick.
Well,
But
whenever our podcast kicks off, then you can drop your Walmart job, and then we can We can start only playing games, and that'll be our
I'm
job.
not giving up. I'm not giving up my Walmart discount card. I don't think so.
Oh, trust me,
uh,
I I was working at Target, and I had a 20, or I don't even remember what it was. I got a good discount on all the stuff, and I was able to buy games, but I dropped that shit so quick. I hated that job with a burning passion. I will never work there again. I'm sorry,
Resale
but
just
I was given an
sucks.
opportunity to work there because my mom's friend was the general manager, but never again. I am sorry. I hated that job.
If you hated Target, you would absolutely despise Walmart.
I know it was 10 times worse, so.
Yes, it absolutely is. Coming up on 3 years of being there. Woo!
It gives you no
Um,
time to do anything. Like,
I have plenty of time. I just got to get up at 2 in the morning every day.
yeah, get up at 2 in the morning, or you can work 8 hours and also do school and also have mental problems.
Wow,
I'm
the
talking about
mental
no
problems
no no
come
no 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 no
included.
no. I'm talking about me. I'm
I
talking
know.
about my first semester in college. It was also COVID the past year, so I didn't know what I was doing. I already had mental problems. I had more mental problems because of COVID, and I was working an 8 hour job. I wasn't doing anything with my life. That was like the worst year of my entire life.
But my job comes with designer bags under my ass. They're
What?
free. They're free.
Designer bags?
Is their designer Louis Vuitton? Because I can't afford to buy that.
You can
But
get the Walmart version.
God, Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton. Uh,
Oh,
is there any other big topic that I'm missing? 'Cause I think we covered all the big stuff, but I know
big
you gave me
stuff.
like a
Yeah.
you gave me
Just
like a
keep
mile
going
long
through the
list.
list.
Oh my god, we'll be here till next week.
No, we'll be able to go through them pretty quick now. Just
We are
rapid
coming up
fire.
on an hour. Okay, rapid fire. Nintendo was meant to return to the Olympics, but they backed out because of looking like the bad guy if they stayed.
I don't remember that part, but
Well, that's exactly what happened. They were supposed to play them the opening, but due to so many companies backing out, COVID worries and stuff, the backlash,
wait, was
Nintendo
Sega
didn't
there?
want to look at it.
Was Sega there still?
Yes,
Was
Sega was
Sonic?
there.
Yes,
Sega
yes,
was there.
yes. Good. Let people look at them bad. Sorry.
Have we not been paying attention to Sonic? They already are.
Please, no. No,
But
I just love being the a hating Sonic guy.
doesn't surprise me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't blame Nintendo. Like, it really sucks because all years ago, trailer with Mario coming out of the
Yeah, that was a great Olympics opening.
yeah. So it sucks that they didn't weren't there, but oh well. There is rumors of a GTA remastered trilogy of all the PS2 games. So three, San Andreas and Vice City. That seems like that should be coming out
One
this holiday.
one where's GTA 6? Like
No, GTA
what?
Online.
At
They freaking delayed GTA 5 on next gen till next year.
delayed
How
for
do you
what? What
delay
are
an
you
8-year-old
delaying?
game? How do you delay
What?
it?
GTA is a great franchise. They just need to do more with it.
They need
I
to
played
freaking
like
bring
five
5 to
minutes of
Switch.
GTA 5 and fell off.
5 is
Like
so good. Oh, that
I
hurts.
want I want to get to the point where I can just kind of screw around, but you can't do that when you open the game for the first time. You have to play through the campaign.
Oh, you
You
don't have
can't
to
you
play through. You have to play through like the first hour, and then you have the entire world.
and
You
also
don't
I
have to
haven't
do the
got to the
missions.
point where Lamar tells is it wait, who does he you got to get
Talking about
bitches on your
Franklin,
dick.
Trevor.
I don't remember. He's like you got to get
Trevor's the
bitches on your
freak.
dick.
Oh, it's been years since I played it, but uh I'm excited for this, especially because it is rumored to be coming to the Switch. I want GTA on Switch.
Yeah, GTA on Switch for sure.
So
Where's
that
the original Grand Theft Auto on Game Boy on Switch?
I don't want that.
Cops
But
and robbers. Sorry.
yes. Get out of here. Halo will not have a campaign at
What do you mean? Get
launch.
out of here. Okay, so Twitch. It's
Oh, I
being
forgot
weird
about
right now.
Twitch.
Oh, wait, what were you saying? Get out of here for?
No,
I thought you were talking about Twitch.
no, no, no. I don't even know what that is. Like, what is
Wait,
that? Sounds
so
like
wait,
Halo.
what were you
I was
saying? Get
reading
out of
off the
here.
list. I don't even think I said get out of here.
Oh, what did you say?
I said Halo won't have a single
Oh,
player campaign. I was like, what are you
all right,
talking
never
about?
mind. Okay,
But now that
Twitch
day
is
off,
being weird
what
right
is a
now. That's all you need to
okay?
know. That's all you need to know.
Okay,
So
I
people
read
took
that
a
the list
day
and
off. Yeah,
okay,
whatever.
good for them. I hope their mental health is better than mine. Uh
Or
where are we
mine.
at? Halo will not have. It's not a campaign at launch. It's the co-op. It will have
Oh,
campaign
what?
on launch day.
I
Yeah,
thought it was the other
there
way.
was
All right.
no. I got confused on that too when I read the headline, but it's just the co-op. The campaign will
Hmm.
be there
Okay, that's
in.
fine then. That's not as big of
Yeah,
an issue as I thought.
yeah. No, I got worried about that too. And
Okay, then
on first glance, I was like, oh
that's not
yeah.
as big as an issue as I thought. All right.
The PS5 kind of had a silent revision. I don't remember what exactly they
Oh yeah.
changed, but it's
Version
very
2.
nothing important.
Oh, it doesn't matter because you're not getting one.
I'm not getting after that Sony showcase. I'm not getting one until 2023, end of 2022,
There's so many PS4 games I still want to play. I'm not gonna buy a
There's
PS4. I'd rather get a
nothing I
PS5.
want. I'm not into God of War. I'm not. I haven't played
Spider-Man
Horizon.
2
That's not
and
coming out until
Wolverine.
2023.
Oh, I mean, oh,
Yeah,
but
that's why
still,
I'm buying it.
there's still so many other PS4 games I still want to play.
And I have a PS4.
I don't. You
Get
said,
good.
what do you mean get good?
Literally everyone has
I
a
have a
PS4. What are you
Switch.
doing?
Release all of them on Switch. Ratchet
Freaking
and Clank on
Nintendo
Switch.
nerd. But Gamescom happened, so
Is there anything you
hooray.
want to talk about there?
Besides the Nickelodeon All Stars game, not really.
So Nickelodeon All Stars came out in new characters: Cat Dog, April O'Neil, and might as well get this out of the way now. The other day they announced Ren and Stimpy. Great character selections. It's weird that they're going with classic April O'Neil. I would think that they would go with either at least 2012 or maybe Rise. Wait, yeah, that's the name of the show, right? Rise. I don't like
Yeah.
Rise, so I'm glad they're going with this over Rise, but I'd rather them do 2012. Um, Cat Dog is
This
always a
game
great inclusion. It's a weird, wacky inclusion, especially how stretchy they are. It's weird.
this game looks so good, but it's so focused on old characters.
Yeah,
Where the hell Jimmy Neutron? Where's Tim?
yeah.
Why do we
I
have like 2 or 3 Avatar characters, like 3 or 4 Ninja Turtle characters? I get their
yeah.
big series. Why is it so bloated on them? It kind of feels like
They're missing like
Ninja Turtles or
niche
Fire Emblem.
franchises. Like they're missing like the whole like they're like okay, let's put some new stuff in, which I hate the Loud House and old stuff, and they're like missing golden era Nickelodeon right in
They're
the
missing
middle,
the Nickelodeon I grew up with.
like LT Gray, Mighty B, I'm just kidding, Monster and Robot. That was a horrible show. Fanboy Chum Chum.
Let me play. Fanboy and Chum Chum was Cartoon Network.
No, that was
No,
Nickelodeon.
oh my god, you're right. No, you're right. Why can't I
Um,
play as Victoria Justice or
oh
Ariana Grande?
no, not that. Don't even bring up those games.
How about
Talk about
Drake
the Arc
Bell?
Kylie DS. No, no, no
Josh
human
Beck.
characters. Like they did that before. I do not want them to do that again.
Can we
No
get Josh
Power
Beck for
Ranger. I'm
Smash?
glad they don't have any Power Rangers in here. I'm totally glad about that. Even
Right.
though I love Power Rangers, just don't. I don't want that in my Nickelodeon game. But
Yeah.
I don't know. How about the classic Nicktoons lineup in general? That's just Timmy Turner, Jimmy Neutron. Just
Yeah.
who else was in that classic lineup? Uh, Tack. Tack.
I don't get why these
Jenny.
monumental characters are just MIA for. I get Avatar.
Shock Zone.
Yes. I don't know. I know there's going to be DLC. I know that.
Which wasn't a plan, so.
But I'm just like. This game also comes out October 5th. I don't have time for it.
Oh.
I wish I did. I'm playing Monkey Ball. I'm sorry.
I'm playing Metroid Dread on my Switch OLED, and at the same time, I'm playing All Star. It's gonna be replaced as soon as that last DLC character comes out for Smash Ultimate. This is the game I'll be playing for the next couple of years. So
Oh God, no! I'm sticking with Smash.
I can't get back into it. I play every once in a while as a party game, but I used to play that game religiously. I played through the entirety of the campaign on a flight. Like I played Smash religiously. I'm gonna play this game religiously too. So
I may
on
pick it
my
up.
amazing looking Switch OLED.
Oh, it's gonna be fantastic. But I may pick it up. I'm not extremely excited for it. I'm
Oh, I'm
happy it's being
beyond
made.
excited.
I'm happy it's being made. It looks really good. It seems like the developers really care, but I don't have a connection with a lot of these characters.
Another thing too is they leaked the box art and they told us what basically all the characters are. So it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
great. So but the cool thing was apparently according to Rob, his idea was that they changed the marketing cycle for it, and they kind of mimic Smash, and I think they're doing a great job. But the fact that it leaked early means nothing to me now because I already know what all the characters are. But at the same
Yeah.
time, because of the initial hype cycle, they're now doing DLC, which is great. Because now once Smash is over, we can start talking about Nick All Stars DLC, which is amazing.
This cycle never ends. I've said this on my Twitter, but as much as I've loved the endless years of Smash speculation, I admit I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm tired too. I don't think
I'm
it'll be
ready to
as
let the
big, but it'll
game.
be funny. It'd be instead of like with Smash speculation where everything has to be serious and you have to look at the small little details and Sakurai presents to find hints of it, or I think that stuff is a little bit ridiculous. But I think with the Nicktoons All Star Brawl, we can be a little bit more chill and fun about it. Like just completely wild expectations. Like we don't have to get serious with it. Like when people said, "Oh, Waluigi," it was like a one-off joke, threw it away, and then we sat there for 20 minutes analyzing chairs. But with Nicktoons All Star Brawl, we can do what we just did right now. We can talk about Jenny and how a great potential moveset she could be, or
Right.
things like that. It could just be fun. And instead, it had to be work with Smash. We had to sit there and analyze chairs for 20 minutes. Like
Yeah.
it was a
You got me
job. It
there.
was chore to talk about Smash
It
DLC.
still is. Let's be real here.
Yeah. But with Nicktoons, it's going to be different. I assume it's going to be similar, but it'll be a lot more fun to talk about that. Oh, and
And
regardless of
yeah,
you're playing it or not, it's going to be on every single month's news whenever we get TLC for that.
and I will endlessly complain until I finally get Tim or Cosmo.
Oh, God.
All right, last few
Speaking
couple
of
news stories.
Cosmo, did you listen to the new Lil Nas album?
I listened to it briefly. I did not pay attention to any of this.
You know why I say that, right?
No.
Because they both were pregnant and they're both guys.
I saw that meme. I did not make that connection until now.
It was
All
they're the
right,
only two men in media that have been pregnant.
we are almost at the end. Let's power through. We've only got a few topics. The SNES has turned.
30.
It's old. It makes me
Old.
feel old, and I'm
Yeah.
not even.
And Earthbound is still not on Switch Online. All right, next topic.
Never gonna happen. Pokemon TV is on the Switch.
Why? Like, it's not
Is
even
that
a
like
good
Netflix?
app. It's not even a good app. Like, you would think, oh, Pokemon TV, maybe you pay a subscription service and you can get all the Pokemon shows. They don't have any good episodes, first of all. They have some of the more recent stuff, a little bit of Sun and Moon, and just sort of scattered across the franchise. I think they have the beginning of the adventure too. But it is scattered. It is a messy application. It is broken. It is god awful, and it's free. Which okay, cool if you're a kid, you can watch it. Which I assume what it's for. But with this idea of a Pokemon application for you to watch the anime, I would think okay, every single anime that they've ever done, every single season. So Origins, Twilight Wings, the new thing that they're coming out with, Evolutions. All of that stuff could be on this platform. And maybe they could pay like a small fee for it. That would be great. But this is a horrible application that's been around for years. Why do you put it on the Switch? Especially when we don't have Netflix, which has more Pokemon options than this app.
Because they want us to never stop talking about Pokemon.
Oh, we will never stop
Leave
talking
me
about Pokemon.
alone, Pikachu.
We're never gonna stop talking about Pokemon. We're never gonna stop talking about Smash, and we'll never stop talking about Switch Pro. Every single episode will have some sort of discussion on that. It is a
I like
fact.
Zelda. I
Oh,
like
sorry.
Zelda.
Oh, sorry. Pikmin sucks. Hey, Pikmin is actually Pikmin 4.
Hey guys, I'm
Uh,
actually taking applications to be on a new podcast, or
oh, you can
just
go on a
hit me
Hee
up.
You can go on a Hee if you want. If you like Animal Crossing.
I do like Animal Crossing. Hit me up. All right. Last one. Well, no, two more.
Two more.
Monkey Ball. Let's talk about Monkey Ball real quick.
It's looking great. I don't know if I'll pick it up. I want to. I've never
You
played
have
Monkey
to
Ball
pick it
before,
up.
but
You
I think
have
that
to.
all the fun little inclusions are great. Like
It looks
Kazuma,
so good.
the weird consoles, Morgana,
Your favorite Sonic.
Sonic, Tails, Jet Set Radio for some reason.
Monkey Ball was my shit growing up, and this looks so faithful. I'm so happy.
Good for you.
You should play it right after you finish Pikmin 3.
Oh, playing this first. Wait, is it
Fine.
out yet? Wait, is it out?
No, it comes out October 5th.
Wait, how are people playing it then?
I think there's review units out already.
But Nathaniel Bandy didn't
He
get
has
one.
a review unit.
Oh.
Yeah, he has one. I know he does, because he said he can't talk about it until embargo.
Oh. I mean, he could post footage of him glitching the game, but...
Well, I should say
Oh, no,
this,
sorry, that was Nathaniel. He doesn't listen to embargo rules.
Oh, God.
That's my bad.
It comes out October 5th. There is a digital deluxe version for like $5 more. You can get it on... Just wait.
Yeah.
Be a normal human and wait. Alright, finally.
You didn't want to talk about Nathaniel, but I have an alter ego too, so...
Do you?
Yeah.
You
don't pay attention to my own channel lore, do you?
I don't have time. I only watch Arlo and Scott these days, and GBG.
Nah, stop watching Arlo and watch Slime Ball. I was kidding.
You aren't a Muppet. Bring puppets in and I'll think about it.
I built a robot. Does that count? That's my alter ego.
Is it a puppet?
No.
If the answer is no, it does not count.
Do I have any
our
puppets?
final topic. Our big blowout. It's not a video game. Let's talk about Free Guy.
Video game. Yeah, Free Guy. So I saw it about weekend launch. It was amazing. I put a review out. You should definitely check that out. Link in the description. It was an amazing movie. It is my second favorite movie of all time now, and
It's bold.
It is my second to Into the Spider-Verse, which was amazing as well. It has my favorite fight scene in it, and I moved down Endgame for this. So
are we talking about the one towards the end?
Yes.
Yes.
And okay, I was like, okay, this is pretty great. It has all these references in it, but okay, spoilers right now. Have you seen the movie? You've seen the movie, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I saw it first weekend too.
What hit me the hardest was when he pulled out the shield, and I was like, okay, well, obviously they're doing all the Disney stuff. And then freaking, what's his name? Chris Evans shows
Chris
up.
Evans.
Just shows
My theater was laughing out loud.
Yes, mine too. People were screaming. It was incredible. And I'm glad I watched this in theaters too, because that is the shit. Like, when we saw Endgame, the same thing happened. The whole theater was going wild, and I'm glad I saw this in theaters because the same thing happened to this movie. Oh, it was incredible.
It's already getting a sequel. I'm so excited.
Oh, okay. Thank God. Yes, please.
Yeah,
and
Disney
more Ryan Reynolds references in there. I want Deadpool in there somewhere. I want Detective Pikachu in there somehow. I want Green Lantern in there too. Why not?
That'd be so cool.
But who cares about the plot? Because the plot, okay, most comedy movies, like, the plot is just like, they're like, let's make something up that's stupid. But this had no traditional it had some traditional tropes in it, but it was actually an interesting plot as well. It was something that was
really
unique and it wasn't like let's be hashtag gamer relatable or whatever, which most video game movies tend to be. This was unique. It was funny. It was Ryan Reynolds, so it was always going to be funny. But it was just a great experience altogether.
Yeah, it was so good.
So I hope they don't ruin it with this. I mean, hell, I don't even like Pokimane, but her inclusion was great. Jacksepticeye, hell, they put TDM in here. Like, what? Like, I wouldn't expect him of all people.
Ninja review.
Oh, yeah, okay. Ninja, I expect. Jacksepticeye, I expect. Pokimane, maybe. I don't even know the other guy.
Yeah.
I would expect maybe like PewDiePie or something to be in there. Like, just sort of bigger named YouTubers. But Dan TDM, I mean, he's pretty big, but that's sort of out of left field for me. That's my childhood right there.
Right.
But no, the whole way through was incredible.
Definitely see it if you haven't had the chance yet. Being wise,
yeah. I think it's coming out. Well, is it going to be on Disney Plus?
It's a good question. I don't know.
What's weird too is that it's a 20th Century Fox movie, so that's great.
Yeah. Alrighty. Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this up?
So Pokemon.
I will end this right now, and then I will end my.
We'll see you next time, probably for our direct predictions. Probably more than likely.
Hopefully, the second a direct gets announced, talking to you about the Legend of
the sequel to the Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Have you seen the Mevins tweet where someone commented and said the arm of the wild? Or no, it was the Legend of Zelda. Ow, my arm hurts.
The title, it'll sell millions. But yeah, if anyone was crazy enough to sit through this entire thing, congratulations, you win a free cookie and the option to sponsor us.
The option.
Well, I can't force them. They won't watch again if I do.
Oh, would you look at that? It's Arlo on my timeline.
I know, I got the notification for that video while we were recording. Anyways, as usual, check us out anywhere you can find podcasts, because we are there too.
Well,
as well as
we
on
might
YouTube.
be.
Are we
sure?
You were the worst paid sponsor ever.
Update. I haven't been posting my previous podcast, so I don't even know, because my dad was paying for the service that spreads it out to other podcasts. So one, I haven't been uploading to the service, and I don't know if my dad's paying for it anymore. So we probably shouldn't be saying that anymore, but also for future reference, we should be saying it. So I don't know. Keep
your eyes peeled on our official Twitter.
Yeah, that someone should be running. I'm just kidding. I know you're busy.
My Walmart job keeps me very busy, mister.
See, you have enough time to post that SpongeBob was going to be at the THQ event.
They kept teasing it. It was very easy to...
Also, is this going to... I don't want to talk about it too much, but is this a platformer?
Yeah.
It was just a CGI trailer, so I'm just like...
The Steam page has a bunch of info. It's like 7 different worlds. It's going to be all mixed up. Like Wild West Jellyfish Field.
I'm surprised they even did this in general because of how bad Rehydrated was received. Even though it was still a good game, because it was obviously based on a good game. But a lot of people had a lot of shit with it, so...
we are very bad at ending episodes.
Yeah.
Anyways, see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. And bye-bye.